Anthony, here's what history shows. Whenever the president and the Senate are controlled by the same party, the Senate almost always confirms nominations in a presidential election year. It's happened 19 times. The Senate has confirmed it 17 times. Whenever the president and the Senate are controlled by opposite parties, as it was 4 years ago with Barack Obama, the Senate doesn't confirm the nominee. That's happened 10 times in our history. The Senate's only confirmed the nominee twice. Now, you may say that's just a question of partisan power. It's actually not. It's a question of the people deciding. This issue was litigated. It was litigated to the American people. It was a major reason. It was the single biggest reason I personally voted for Donald Trump, is because he promised to nominate justices in the mold of Scalia and Thomas.
Okay, so let's pick up on that for a second. Are you looking for a justice who will strike down Obamacare and reverse Roe v. Wade? Are you hoping that?
I'm looking for a justice who will be faithful to the law and the Constitution. And one of the interesting things that a lot of people don't necessarily know. Would you like to see that
reversed? So would you like to see it reversed?
I think Roe versus Wade was wrongly decided. But here's a point very few people understand. If Roe versus Wade were reversed, the consequence would not outlaw abortion. It would simply return to the way it was for most of the history of our country, which means it would be decided by the state legislatures. Each state would make different decisions reflecting the values of their citizens. And here's the other point. If Joe Biden gets one additional liberal justice on the court, we're one vote away. I litigated the federal partial birth abortion case. That's the federal law that prohibits the really gruesome practice of partial birth abortion. The court upheld that law 5-4. It meant there were 4 justices ready to strike that down and to say that you can have no limitations whatsoever on abortion, that partial birth abortion is mandated by the Constitution, no parental consent, no parental notification. Those are extreme positions.
Senator.
And we're one vote away from that. That's what Joe Biden is promising, and that's not what the American people want. That's far out of the mainstream.
Senators Collins and Murkowski have both said they would prefer this vote not happen, Republicans, before the election. Senator Graham says you already have the votes to pass the Supreme Court nominee without even knowing who it is. Do you have the votes?
We do. I believe we have the votes. I don't know for sure, but I believe we do. And I think it's critically important that we vote before Election Day. And let me tell you why. Joe Biden has already told us that he intends to challenge the legitimacy of this election. If he doesn't win on Election Day, he's hired a team of lawyers. He plans to bring lawsuits challenging the election. 20 years ago, in the year 2000, we had Bush versus Gore. I was part of the legal team that represented George W. Bush and Bush versus Gore in Florida. There's a whole chapter in the book on Bush versus Gore. So if you want to understand what could happen on Election Day if Joe Biden challenges
but
here's the critical point.
One last point.
Let me just get a sentence
Biden hasn't said that either.
Well, Hillary Clinton has told Joe Biden, under no circumstances should you concede. That's what she said directly.
Senator, the president has said that if he doesn't win, the election is a fake. So, I mean, there are going to be probably challenges on both sides.
He's going to challenge the election. Joe Biden has. But here's the critical point. If
Senator, we've got it. Unfortunately,
election,
we have to go. I appreciate you being with us this morning.
Justices, and it's divided 4-4. It can't make a decision. We need a full court to resolve that, so we don't have a constitutional crisis. We don't have chaos.
But
we don't want to see this election.
Republicans were okay with the court being 4-4 for months after you wouldn't even consider Merrick Garland. Thank you, Senator Cruz, for being with us this morning.
The promise of the candidate to challenge the election like we do now.
Right.